What is going on, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So listen up. We're going to break down Tesla stock today, which we haven't done an update in a couple of days. So we're going to go over the charts, kind of my thoughts there, what I'm looking to do, which, by the way, right now it's up 0.8% in the midst of an overall red day, which is good. And later in the video, if we have time, we'll break down the indexes and some other stocks. So get ready, guys. Jam-packed video. And by the way, we're also going to go over their earnings because they're coming up here fairly soon. So you're going to want to watch this entire video, guys. And with that being said, let's dive into it. And oh, by the way, if you find value, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and check out all the links down below. If you guys want to get some free stocks, check out my portfolio on Patreon, all that good stuff, linked right down below. And without further ado, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into it. So Tesla this morning saw a lot of green. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but we opened up at around $168 per share, and then we saw a big move to about $175. So that was a $7 move, which used to not be that much of a move for Tesla stock, considering it was $300, 350, 400, but now that it's in the 160s, 70s, hey, a $7 move, that's pretty big. We're talking about a 4% move here on the stock, and then we sold off for the rest of the day up until where we are right now, essentially, where it's currently about 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast. We can see, well, not necessarily for the entire day we've sold off, but after that. But you can see we saw a bit of a sell-off right after that initial spike in the morning. We then ended up bouncing to about, let's see, 173.50, and now we're actually starting to slip into close. You guys can see now we're at 172, and clearly we're noticing these lower highs being put in, which I guess you can say is not the best sign overall for the bulls in the short term. And here on the 5-day chart, we can see clearly, with today's, yes, we're up right now 0.75%, but with today's, day of trading, we failed to take out the highs from obviously a couple of days ago, but also looks like here from about a week ago. Yeah, exactly a week ago, last Monday, Tesla was at about, let's see, 175. We got rejected. Tuesday, we got rejected as well. So, yeah, looks like we're doing that again, getting rejected, at least as of now, which is not the best for the bulls in the short term. And here on the 10-day chart, we can see how, how big of a resistance that is. And you can see that as you pull the layers back, even more, right? We have clearly support, or we had support at about 175 back earlier this month of March. Then we broke through, got to 160, and now we're trying to get back over there, which I'm not too convinced that we're going to do quite yet in the short term, guys. And look at this. We have an inverse head and shoulders, which I guess is good for the bulls in the short term. You guys can see that here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But again, we're not showing any signs of this playing out. Will it play out? Time will tell. I don't know. It's not guaranteed, by the way. But I'm watching it, and I'm going to set my alert. Might as well do it at, let's see, 175. I'll do one at 175. Mark is that we're above. And I'll also do one at $180 per share. Let me set that up here for Tesla. Mark is that we're above 180. There we go. And another thing worth mentioning and following up with you guys here is on the 4-hour chart. Do you all remember this descending triangle that we called out? Well, that's still playing out. That's still in full effect here. So we could still maybe go down to 150, 155, maybe 160 again. That's still on the cards until we start breaking out of 180, 185, 190. If Tesla starts ripping towards 200 in the short term, all right, maybe we're not going to start dumping back down. 160 would be out of sight at that point, right? Out of sight. But as of now, man, it's still on the cards, especially if we get rejected at 175. We start dumping down from there. So, yeah, keep your eyes on this 3-year chart. Let me show you this. If I zoom in, we can see the gap right now to fill is at 150. That was the low from, it looks like, the end of April. If that were to break, boom, we could be going down to 100, 105, which is where we were about a year ago-ish. Yeah, a little over a year ago. And, guys, the thing is, man, with EV demand slowly deteriorating in the short term, not forever, obviously, but in the short term here, that could bring the stock down even further. For all we know, with earnings coming up, and let's actually transition to this other page really quickly. Let me show you this. With earnings coming up, who knows? If they report weak guidance, if they report weak numbers, that could send the stock tumbling. You've guys seen it time and time again. And at this point, Tesla investors, the stock, traders, whatever you want to call it, they're kind of hoping for a surprise quarter. And they're looking for a reason to have the stock rally because it's been a while since we've seen a rally. But man, if they get disappointed again, I just think the stock is going to drop like a brick. Especially if guidance is weak. We'll see, though. We'll see how it plays out. Time will tell. But as of right now, we can see here the market cap is $550 billion. Let me actually zoom in a bit. Not sure if you can see that. Whoops, I just messed that up big time. But look, the P ratio, trailing 12 months, is 40. I'm not sure what the forward PE is. The beta is 2.41, so obviously it's way more volatile than the entire stock market, and the market cap is $549 billion as of now. And to think about, it was at 1 trillion, or was it over, a little under, whatever the heck it was. Now it's pretty much, yeah, it was over a trillion. Now we're down well over 50% from all-time highs, and we're at this valuation here, this market cap here, $550 billion. And if Tesla in some scenario gets to $200-300 billion market cap, man, that would be very enticing. And honestly, at that point, I would be buying heavily, which, full disclosure, I don't own Tesla stock right now, but I am looking for my re-entry point. And I'm fully aware at this point that the demand deterioration, this could last for another couple quarters. This could last for another year or two. And I'm not, the thing is, I'm not jumping the gun on my entry here because I feel like we could get lower prices than we expect on Tesla stock in the short term. And if we do get to that 100, 125, 150 level, right, preferably under 150, I'm going to be ready to strike. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. So yeah, Tesla, 550 billion market cap. Let me come down here to the earnings coming up, which they're not super soon, about 3-4 weeks away, but still, it's worth watching and getting ready for these earnings. So based on what I have here on Yahoo Finance, guys, let me zoom in and get these estimates. We can see, based on 24 analysts, the average earnings per share estimate is 58 cents. The low estimate is 27 cents, with the high estimate being 83 cents. And a year ago, they did 85 cents of EPS. So EPS will be down year over year on average if they do the average, which again is 58 cents. So keep that in mind. And the revenue coming down here based on 22 analysts, average revenue estimate is $22.78 billion. The low estimate is $20.36 billion, and the high is $26.07, which, let's just say, there's no freaking chance that's happening. So, keep your eyes on that 21-22 billion range, more like, 22.5-ish. That's kind of what they're looking at for this quarter. So, yeah, man, it's not obviously the best times for Tesla, but you have to realize this was going to happen at some point, right? They saw explosive growth over the last couple of years. This is not something that is out of the ordinary, unusual, unforeseen. We kind of all expected at some point that EV demand was going to cool off. There's going to be a lot of players coming into the space, a lot of competition, right? Tesla was the first player, no doubt, and they're still the best, arguably the best, depending on who you're talking to, but yeah, they're not the only player anymore, right? So we all knew it'd come to this, and at some point, after the explosive growth in demand, it's going to cool off a bit. And then eventually we're going to see demand start going up again for these cars. And it's not like nobody's buying Teslas anymore, guys. That's not the case. It's just that it's slowed down massively. The growth is just not nearly what it was, not anywhere close to what it was. And we'll see now with the Cybertruck, the more affordable Tesla coming down the pipeline, which who knows when that's going to happen, but all of that, it would grow the numbers, all that good stuff, guys, right? So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's pretty much enough of me yapping. We're going to wrap up the video right here. And actually, before you guys click off, don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, the sponsor of today's video, by going down below or by going to StasserFest.com/Moomoo or by checking out the QR code right here. Once you open up your account with Moomoo and you fund it with at least $100, you get 5 stocks, and fund it with at least $1,000, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks, and each of those could be valued up to $2,000. So get on it, guys. The clock's ticking. Use that link down below. Check out the QR code right here, or go to StasserFest.com/Moomoo. Get your stocks. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next one.